Hello guys, going to be going over the MLB PrizePicks video for Thursday, July 14th. 13 games today, and looking at first inning runs, there are 12 available. The only one that they didn't put up because I guess they just thought that it just was not a good play for them because it was too easy is of course the one that I was interested in, which is the Brewers and the Giants with Burns against Carlos Rodon, but we don't have the under on that available. So for this category, I don't really have one. Coors Field again, but this one will be Blake Snell and Kyle Freeland. Freeland, not a great pitcher, but I would say on the Rockies, he's one of their better arms. And for the Padres, Blake Snell, I mean, he's just inconsistent. Don't know what to expect from him, but yeah, I just don't really feel comfortable with this. I'm pretty sure this one's going to be juiced again on Sportsbook, so for the sake of like a value, yeah, you can take this one, but not one that I'm going to recommend. Strikeouts, this is going to be where an official play comes. Kevin Gausman at 5.5. Take the over for his strikeouts. He is returning after missing 11 days due to a right ankle bone bruise. He was hit in his start. Only went, I think, 2 innings, and there was word that he was going to start Tuesday, but then got pushed to Thursday. So it seems like he's going to be good to go. Don't know if there's going to be any type of restrictions on him because this is going to be his last start before the All-Star break. So I don't know if the Blue Jays are just going to say, well, let's take it easy. You got a lot of time to rest. Let's not push too hard. Or they could just say the opposite where, well, you do have the All-Star break, so let's just let you pitch as long as you can, over 100 pitches or whatever. So not too sure about what his leash is going to be. But they are playing the Royals, who are going to be playing in Toronto. And the Royals are going to be missing 10 of their players due to just the requirements, the border laws. And they got like a lot of their key guys out. Andrew Benintendi, Whit Merrifield, some of their very important or better bats, honestly. And that just means they're going to have to call guys up from the minors who are not going to be as good. We don't know exactly who or what type of roster moves that the Royals are going to make, but I mean, it's not going to be, the players aren't going to be as great as their major league team. So they're going to have a lot higher strikeout rates, because these Royals, they don't strike out a ton. And I'll expect the guys that they do call up, to just have much worse outcomes against Gausman, who we know Gausman's an ace. I mean, 76% percentile with 80 percentile, chase rate at 100. So if you're calling up guys from the minors, probably multiple guys making their MLB debut, like, this is a very bad spot for the Royals. I think his fantasy score is okay, 38.5, but there are questions about his workload that I don't think a quality start is like a for sure thing. Now, I would expect him to throw at least, like 85 pitches. So I think at that point, when you're facing off against like a AAA Royals team, he can definitely get to 6 strikeouts. Now, that of course puts another play of interest for me. That's his pitch count. 95.5 pitches thrown. This is at 96.5 on Underdog. So if you play over there, better line. But I think at 95.5, I would take the under on this one. Not as confident as the strikeout play, but I would say it's probably like a tier 3 play for me. I just don't think that you need to force Gausman, especially when you're coming off of injury. This is your ace. Like, what is the purpose of that? So I think an under really makes sense. They also do have a new manager. They fired their manager on Wednesday. They won their game on Wednesday, actually. And this Blue Jays bullpen, so they used Stripling went 7 on Wednesday, and they used Meza and Richards for the 8th and 9th. So, like, Phelps, Simber, Romo, they're all going to have at least, 3 days rest. Romo hasn't pitched since last Friday. Like, I think this bullpen, they're pretty well rested when you look at some of these other bullpens around the league. So I think that's another thing that just makes sense for Gausman to maybe go a little bit less than his usual workload. And then for pitcher fantasy score, there's one that I also really like. I actually thought about maybe this is the play over Gausman, but I like them both pretty equally, so I don't know which one's like my favorite Cutter Crawford, under 30.5 pitcher fantasy score against the Rays. Cutter Crawford has been all over the place. He's had 2 better starts in his last 2 against the Rays and the Yankees. But those were home starts, home and away. It does have some effect on some pitchers. Cutter Crawford, not someone that really goes deep in the game. So like I kind of think that, well, one, probably not going to get a quality start. Probably also not going to be able to get the win if he doesn't even go 5. So yes, there are some reasons why he is this high. Of course, the strikeouts. His strikeout rate is 84 in the 84th percentile, but the whiff and chaser are pretty low. And he gives up runs, gives up hits. It's just the strikeouts. That's what could really elevate his score. He walks a lot of guys as well. The Tampa Bay Rays do have a lot of guys, like the top of the line, really. There's no Wander Franco, but Yandy Diaz, Ji-Man Choi, and Ramirez. These 3 guys are, the best 3 players on the Rays basically right now that are healthy. So I think at least Tampa Bay is playing at home. Cutter Crawford, just the short leash. Really not the greatest pitcher out there, and I feel like this line's just like too high. So if he's not going to be able to go 5, or let's say he doesn't go 6, like he really needs to rack up the strikeouts, not give up runs. And I think he's not going to be able to do all of that. So that's why I do like the under quite a bit. The next one, we're going on to hitting. So there are a lot of pitchers that allow a ton of stolen bases today. And so there's 2 of these fantasy scores that are going to be because of that. But in addition, of course, we're not targeting strictly for stolen bases. We are targeting because it is a good hitting matchup as well. First one, Ronald Acuna, over 8.5. The Braves are taking on Anibal Sanchez. Sanchez has not been in the league. He did not pitch last year. I think he took the year off. And this guy, he had some better years early on in his career, but this guy, I think he's 38 years old. He's old. The last time that we saw him, he was just terrible. The 6.62 ERA, not a good pitcher. His strikeout stuff, it's not awful, but it's not great. And he just allows a ton of stolen bases. And Ronald Acuna, he missed the first month, and he still has 18 stolen bases already on the year. His power, that's definitely going to continue to rise. And when you have a lower K guy, of course, with Acuna's strikeout concerns, that's going to mitigate those concerns. And he has a high walk rate, so when taking fantasy score, walks are fine. And just the stolen base spot, the hitting spot, all of these are just great. Like, I think probably Acuna should be like a 9 or a 9.5, but he's only at 8.5. They're also the away team, so even though the Braves are favored, they're going to be batting in the top of the 9th. This Nationals bullpen is terrible, so Sanchez first start in a while, probably going to be limited, but that's fine. He's going to probably get some very good matchups against that bullpen. So really like this one. Can definitely get it just with hitting alone, but when you add in the stolen base matchup, it's really good for Acuna. The next one, similar. It's going to be Jose Altuve against Reed Detmers. He is also at 8.5. Rather have Acuna, but I really do like Altuve. Taking on the Angels. The Angels, they're pitching Detmers, and Detmers does not go deep in the games. And this Angels bullpen, they were actually good early on in the season, but they are really bad now. And I expect them to struggle, even if Detmers or just this pitching staff, they're going to be good. And I'd say maybe the concern is that Jordan Alvarez is out, Michael Brantley, so maybe the run opportunities aren't as high for Altuve, but this guy is a base stealer. He hasn't had a lot of chances, but he's still on the base in both these games against, of course, Syndergaard, and then today against Ohtani. So in a very good spot against Detmers to steal, a lefty, but he allows a ton of stolen bases. Also a righty lefty matchup. That's really the most important thing. Altuve is very good against left-handed pitchers. Bats over 300. The power numbers are great. So that's the reason. But then when you add in, again, the stolen base ability, the plus 5 points for a stolen base, very solid. Max Stassi, Kurt Suzuki, the catchers for the Angels, they don't have good pop times. So Altuve should be able to steal successfully as long as he is on first with an open base at second. Now on to total bases. Not gonna like this one, but I just gotta trust Coors. Luke Voigt, 1.5 total bases, taking the over against Kyle Freeland. Voigt's numbers this season, they're really weird. He's been better against lefties, but so far this season, he's batting under 200 and doesn't have a single homer against left-handed pitchers. But of course, the good, this is a righty-lefty matchup. Platoon splits for both of these guys should be in favor of Voigt. And this Coors game is going to be in the afternoon. So that's going to mean higher temperatures, so even better Coors weather. 95 degrees, 4-mile winds. No direction here. Usually just means that's really kind of like a left to right or right to left effect. But Voigt, he took the night off on Wednesday against Chad Kuhl. Should be back in the lineup today. And, I don't expect this guy to just continue to be hitless in Coors Field. Like, that usually does not happen for any visiting team. And these Rockies, their bullpen's not great. So I'm going to trust that Voigt can finally do something here because, we've seen Voigt even at 2.5 total bases on sportsbooks. So I think at 1.5, I'm just going to take it. If he burns me, okay, I guess. But just a matchup, like Coors Field, an afternoon game, like that's really as good as it gets. The only thing is, like, maybe if we could have got, I don't know, like Dallas Keuchel or even worse pitcher than Freeland and better, like, wind blowing out, double digits or something. But Voigt, the Padres acquired this guy. He's a great hitter. He was on the Yankees not too long ago. He's going to get it going, I would say. And then CJ Cron and Chris Bryant, they're more leans right now because Blake Snell is a good pitcher, but still it's Coors Field. And Chris Bryant, I saw some stuff about him possibly returning today, so I don't know if that's true. But if Cron is going to be in the lineup, because there's also some issues with him, he was out of the lineup for 2 nights in a row. He came back after getting hit in the wrist. He did pinch hit on Wednesday, so I think he's going to be good to go. He was able to get a hit on Wednesday, so I'll update that if they're going to be in the lineup, but just something to keep an eye out on for this Coors game. And then for hits and walks, have one that's going to be Steven Kwan, 1.5 over, taking on Detroit. Detroit, they have Elvin Rodriguez up in the majors again, and this guy is very bad. And by bad, I mean he allows a ton of hard hits, gives up a ton of runs, and also walks a ton of players. 9.4 walk percentage, ERA of 11.51. Going to be pitching away, not good for a young pitcher. He's allowed a ton of home runs and like 5 games, 9 homers. So I like the spot. Taking the hits and walks, it's good in that Kwan does have the platoon advantage, and Rodriguez control issues. Kwan, he walks at a very high rate. He's more of a contact hitter, doesn't have much power, so that's why I think this one actually could be better than the fantasy score prop. 70 percentile in walks, and he just doesn't swing and miss. 100 percentiles for both these categories, so that's the reasoning for this one. And then got 2 other leans. That's going to be hitter fantasy score. Tommy Pham over 4.5 against Nestor Cortez. Cortez has been struggling. The weather is going to be hitter-friendly ballpark in Yankee Stadium. And he can get this done pretty easily. He does have speed. He just single drives someone in, over. That's 5 points. So this is more of kind of just a projection. Think that Pham's more talented in the 4.5 line. And then the last lean, it's going to be hits and walks again. Brandon Nimmo at 1.5, taking the over for this one. Not like an easy matchup against Keegan Thompson, but Thompson does walk guys, and Brandon Nimmo is a very good hitter in terms of keeping his eye on the ball. Just his play vision is really solid. So he walks at a high rate. Makes sense with Thompson's walk percentage. So that's why I like this one. Nimmo, the leadoff hitter. So going to be able to get the most at-bats that you could possibly get for on the team. And for runs and RBIs, they still only have 2. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on this board. Total bases, the ones that haven't put up, the one that I'm interested in is Jose Ramirez. Again, Elvin Rodriguez struggles. So if we do get a Ramirez prop, going to take the over for his total bases. And then for the stolen base targets, Carlos Rodon, Reed Detmers, Anibal Sanchez, Framber Valdez. These 4 guys give up a ton, like 90% plus allowed. And then other guys that are like above 70%, Tyler Anderson, Sonny Gray, Corbin Burns, Kevin Gossman, Drew Rasmussen, Kyle Freeland, Kyle Wright, Nestor Cortez, Zach Thompson, Marco Gonzalez, and Martin Perez. So a lot of stolen base targets, but of course not the best matchups though, because some of these pitchers are very good. So as you guys know, I only target stolen bases if the hitting spot is good as well. So that's why I only have Acuna and Altuve for those. But favorite plays, tier 1, Gossman and Cutter Crawford are definitely far and away the best. Then Acuna, Altuve, and then Quan, Voit, Gossman in tier 3. Gossman's under on his pitches, tier 3. And that is going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck on the slate, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.